Boys and girls, welcome to episode, I think we're on 9, so we're trucking right along, of Between the Seams. I got my boy Ant L with us. What's your Twitter, Ant?
Ant_sports_gig. Hi, everybody.
Just letting some guys get in here. Let's see who we got in the chat. Let me get out of that. Let's see what we got. Hey, what's up, Andrew, Deerslayer, Rich? I'm sure you guys will all be coming over after Jimmy's done. But we got a huge slate. I think it was 14 games, 28 teams playing tonight. I actually only have about 3 plays. I think Ant's got maybe 8. How many you got, Ant?
Enough.
So we got 11 games, plus we know Ant can talk. So let's what's up, Star Hill Tim? What's up, Yella? So let's just jump right into it. Let me pull up. I'm going to use Bet Online. I know you guys know this about me. I mean, you can get a couple cents better probably somewhere else, a couple cents worse somewhere else, but they seem to be, pretty much in the middle. So let me pull them up here. Just give me 1 second. And okay, so let's start with my Pirates against the Phillies. We're going to go Brault and Smiley. Pirates are plus 127. The Phillies are minus 137. Over under is 10. Team totals are both 4.5. I got nothing on this. I mean, I like Brault. He's been pitching well. And I don't like Smiley, but I clearly think the Phillies are the better team. The Pirates are playing better, but since the break, I think they've won 8 games. I mean, so they've just been terrible. But I'm gonna just stay off this. I think Ant may have a play. What you got, Ant?
Yes, I do. So the Pirates have actually been feeling themselves offensively for about the last week. And if there's one thing I'd kind of like to do, and you'd like to do, it's follow those teams that are on a hot run.
Definitely.
And we've seen that a lot this year, where a team will be hot, really hot for about 5-6 games. And in the case of the Pirates, their offense has been pretty hot for about 4 or 5 games now. So I'm going back to that well. We are in a we're in a hitter's ballpark in Philadelphia. It is a very good hitter's ballpark, and Smiley is not good at all. He's fucking awful. I mean, what statistic do you want to look at from Smiley to tell you that he's shit? Look at any statistic. You'll go, oh, wow, that pitcher is really fucking bad. So you got a bad pitcher, a pitcher in a hitter's ballpark against a team that's been kind of hot lately. I'm going back to the well. The number's not as tasty as it was yesterday, but that's because Vargas is better than Smiley. But I'm still getting it low juice on this over 4.5 with their team total at minus 105.
The main thing that kept me off of this is while the Pirates are hot, I prefer them against a right-hander much better than against a left-hander. They're one of the worst hitting teams against left-handers in the league. Having said that, I agree with you 100%. You find a hot team and you ride them.
I mean, and I agree with you on that lefty-righty split, but Smiley sucks.
Hey, there's no doubt about that. All right. So what was your play, Ant?
Pirates team total over 4.5 at minus 105.
Okay. All right, cool. So one game, one play. Nice. Okay. So we go to the Orioles and the Nats. We got Brooks. We got Corbin. We got Orioles at plus 280. We got to come back at minus 315 on Corbin. Over under is 9.5. We got a 3.5 for the Orioles team total. We got a 5.5 for the Nats team total. You can actually get that 3.5 at the Orioles at plus money. I got them at plus 107. So that's interesting to me. I mean, the fact that the Nats are minus 315 against anybody, I understand they're a good team, but they're not $3.25 better than really anybody. While Corbin's a good pitcher, he's not a $3 pitcher in my mind. But there's not enough value on the comeback at the Orioles. If anything, the Orioles got a scrappy offense. I may get that 3.5 at plus money, plus 107, but I'm not even going to give that out. That would just be a lean. Ant, you got anything?
No, I have this game in the 270 to 290 range. So, I mean, I actually think that's right where the Orioles money line is. So, I mean, you're basically mathematically, if my numbers are accurate, which I'm up about like 35 units on the year of baseball, so I hope my numbers have some kind of accuracy to them. You're basically making a break-even bet, trying to grab the value with the Orioles, and obviously there's just too much juice on the Nationals. I stayed off the game, but if people want to have action on it, because I know this is a pick show, people like action, you can't really go that wrong with an over. Brooks is a very, very weak starting pitcher. The Orioles bullpen's very weak, and the Nationals have a very hot offense. So you can get over that 9.5 just by the Nationals alone. I looked at the Nationals on the team total, but it's 5.5 on a home team, juiced heavily to the over. So
140.
I'm not laying minus 140 on a 5.5 on a home team. If they gave me like plus 105, plus 110, I'd snap that up. But minus 140 on a home team, especially a massive home favorite, where they're probably you're going to lose the bottom of the inning.
Yeah, you're not
it's
seeing
a pass.
Yeah,
So the game's a pass for me, but I would lean over if you guys have to bet it.
Yeah, they're not seeing the bottom of the ninth. So you're asking them to basically score 5-6 runs in 8 innings, which they can do. But like you say, it's juiced at minus 140, that team total. Again, I don't mind plus 3.5 at one plus one, or over 3.5 at plus 107 with the Orioles. It's not a terrible play. But again,
that's a really good number. I mean, you're getting plus money to get 4 runs. I mean, with any team, that's a really good number on the Orioles.
Yeah, so that's something for you guys to think about. Then we're going to move on to the Braves and the Blue Jays. We got Soroka, we got Font. The Braves are minus 178. The comeback is plus 168 for the Blue Jays. Over/under is 9.5. Team totals are Braves at 5.5. The Blue Jays at 3.5, juiced heavily to at 132. I obviously the Braves are the better team here. If anything, I may take a first 5 and isolate Soroka and Font. I didn't even look at that, but it's probably in the 130 range, 140 range, minus 140 for the Braves. That may be a spot to look at, but I stayed off of it. Ant, you got anything?
No, the Braves should definitely be the favorite here, and that's what the line says. I don't see them being shorted though on this line. I think round the minus 170 to minus 180 is pretty accurate. So I'm just moving along.
Okay. Fair enough. We got a lot of games, so that's no problem with that. All right, so we got the Reds and Castilla. We got the Marlins and Caleb Smith. Reds are minus 157. The Marlins are plus 147. The over/under is only 7. Team totals are 3.5 for the Reds and 2.5 for the Marlins. I got nothing on this. I can't even lean over on 7. I mean, these are 2 really good pitchers. One really bad offense, one average offense. I got nothing on this. And
it's just again the line that the bookie is giving you is pretty much where the game should be at. So I just passed. If you can get the Marlins team total over 2.5 at lower juice, that might be a look, because team total over 2.5 is always tempting, especially if it's lower juice, and it's a home team too. So the Marlins. I mean, you would if they're going to win the game, if they're going to be up going into the bottom of the ninth, you should expect them to be have 3 runs. So I mean, that might be a decent look if that's how you kind of want to look at a derivative on this game. But full game over or under 7, no thank you. And obviously, I want nothing with the sides. The Reds should win this game about 60% of the time, and that's what that line's telling you.
Okay. Here's a game I just don't understand. And Ant's obviously a Cubs fan. Maybe he could shed some light. We got the Cubs and Darvish. We got the Mets and Stroman. Money line is minus 109 for the Cubs. Comeback is minus 101 for the Mets. Over/under is 8.5. Both team totals are 3.5, juiced way to the over. But here's what I don't understand. I can get the first 5 at 4. Okay. But the full game is 8.5. Now, I understand you factor in your starters, you factor in your bullpen, but I would think that it would be at highest 8. on the full game over under, and it's 8.5. If you're going to give me first 4 in this game, I'm going to take it all day, and that's what I did. So I got the first 5 over 4 in this particular game. Ant, what do you got?
I got nothing on this game, but I can explain that for you pretty well.
Yeah.
Stroman and Darvish are both in pretty good form right now, starting pitching wise, and both bullpens are a mess. I mean, if there's one thing hanging around me and Jay on the show all the time, it's all we ever do is bitch about how our bullpens are fucking the game up for us. And that's basically what happens. This game could be 2-1 going into the 8th inning, and we can see it go over. I mean, the Cubs fucking bullpen. I mean, those guys can't find the plate for the life of them, and it's the same thing going on with the Mets have had bullpen issues too. So it really just comes down to the fact that you have 2 very capable starting pitchers. Darvish has been lights out for a couple months now. A lot of people don't realize that because he has had the bullpen fuck him up the ass on several occasions. And Stroman has been very good all year long too. So the 4, I mean, it's a low first 5 total, so it's understandable.
I understand all your points, and all your points. I know all that, but it's just too big of a stretch. I mean,
I see your point.
Starting with a 4, you're basically saying the full game is 7.5. Okay, exactly. So not 7.5, then it's 8. But we have it at 8.5. So I'm liking my spot, but I appreciate that. I'm sure there's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's very strange because you're saying 4 runs in the first 5 innings, and the last 4 innings is going to have 4.5. That's not how the math works on first 5 and full game totals. So I definitely see why you're wondering what the fuck they're doing with that. That seems like an overreaction to the bullpens, in my opinion. But
exactly right. But that's the way you explained it is correct, 100%. All right, so you got nothing?
No, I rarely have anything on Cubs games. I definitely don't have anything on this one because as much as my Cubs love to give up games, so do the Mets. So I mean, are we going to gamble on which team doesn't want this game more? So.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got the Indians, we got the Tigers, we got Plutko, we got Turnbull. Indians are minus 156. The comeback is plus 146 on the Tigers. Over under is 9.5. Team totals are 5.5 and 3.5. Indians and Tigers. 2 average pitchers. Obviously, the Indians have the better offense, but at minus 156, I'd say it's probably about right. The Turnbull may even be a little bit better pitcher than Plutko, in my opinion, but I don't see any value here. I'm off it.
I'm on this game. You're right about Turnbull. He is a little bit better than Plutko, but Turnbull can be a little bit better than Plutko all he wants. Turnbull's still very average. The Tigers' offense is bottom 3 in the league in every category, and they've been consistently down there all season long. The Tigers' bullpen has been at the bottom of the league in every statistical category all season long. The Indians have one of the top bullpens in the league, and the Indians have, I mean, they've never had a terrible offense. There have been stretches where they've had one of the top offenses in the league, and, it's dipped down to average, to top offense, to average.
Right.
My point is the Indians have a ridiculously better offense and a ridiculously better bullpen, and Turnbull is not so much better than Plutko that it really should matter that much. So I am on the Indians here. I wound up grabbing the -1 at minus 130 at my sports book here, at my local sports book here in the Omaha area. So I got the Indians -1 at minus 130.
Fabulous. All right, let's move right along. We got the Cardinals and Mikolas. We got the Brewers and Hauser. The Cards are plus 123. The comeback on the Brewers is minus 133. Over under is 9.5. Both team totals at 4.5. I got nothing. 2 average pitchers may like Hauser a little better. Offenses are about the same. I feel like it's priced right. I got nothing. Ant?
I took a half unit stab on the over here. The reason why it's a half unit was because it was juiced to the over. So I tend, so I wanted to just kind of be careful there. But it's at 9 at minus 120. I don't like Mikolas on the road at all. And you have Hauser's average. I mean, Hauser's not terrible, but he's average. And the Cardinals' offense is very, very hot right now. So I got a hot offense. And then on the other end, I got a pitcher who's very bad on the road. So why not? I don't know. I mean, you know where
No,
I'm going with this. I
yeah,
just kind of like the look. So I got a half on the over 9.
and I really like the Brewers lineup against righties. I mean, they mash righties. Okay, so you got a half unit. No problem. That's no problem. All right, so let's move along to the Twins and Pineda, the White Sox and Giolito. Basically a pick 'em, which is interesting. That's interesting spot. I may have to reevaluate this. The over under is 9. The team totals are both 4.5. I mean, clearly Giolito, started great, kind of dipped, but he's been pitching pretty well lately. Pineda, God, when I watch him, his stuff is terrible. I mean, it's so hittable. But I mean, the Twins' offense is pretty potent, especially against righties. Um, I would lean Twins here, even though Giolito is clearly the better starter here. I still don't like it enough to bet it, so I'm off of it. And
I am not off of it. I am on the Twins here.
uh,
You're right. Giolito is better than Pineda, but the problem is Pineda is not bad. Pineda is a capable starting pitcher who can give you 6 innings, only give up 2 runs, things like that. He's not a gas can. There's never been anybody tweeting out, "Ooh, Pineda Day," like you get with like
right,
Corbin Bailey or Drew Smiley or whatever. Pineda's a very capable starting pitcher. This is a situation where the starting pitching matchup has over exaggerated the line. The Twins are a significantly better team than the White Sox, and Pineda is not a bad starting pitcher, but people see, ooh, Lucas Giolito, he's been pretty good this year. He's got a 3.20 ERA. His advanced statistics all look pretty good too. So they're like, oh, that means the White Sox are just going to have to win this game because Giolito's really good. And it's turned a game that should be like minus 130 on the Twins into a pick 'em spot. And it's just not the case. Pineda is absolutely capable of shutting down this White Sox offense. The White Sox offense over the last month of the season has been dreadful. They're on the bottom rung of every offensive category, and the Twins offense is on the top. I
yep.
mean, the Twins are on pace to set the record for most home runs hit in the season. The Twins offense is probably only second to the Astros. So you're telling me the Twins can't hit Giolito? I mean, I know he pitched very well last time against them, but they've seen him a couple times, and they're very good hitters here. And the bullpen's better. The White Sox bullpen's not good. So if I can see this being a 1-1, 2-2 game going into the 7th inning, both starters are out. If this is a tie game going into the 7th inning and both starters are out, do you want to have that Twins offense and
Right.
that Twins bullpen versus the White Sox offense and the White Sox bullpen on a pick 'em price?
No, right. Yep. No, I got you. And I really can't, like I said, I leaned that way too. So I got a hard lean that way. And then Ant is firmly on the Twins. So that may be a good play for you guys. So this next game is interesting because we got Verlander, who I love to back, and then Ant loves to fade. I mean, we don't do it blindly, but it seems like that's the way
I
it usually
don't love
goes.
to fade Verlander.
It seems like you do fade him a lot, and then I back him a lot. I'm not
I
saying
do.
right. But so this is interesting. He's going against Morton, who's tough. So we got the Rays and Morton. We got the Astros and Verlander. So the Rays are plus 178. The comeback with Verlander is minus 190. Over under 7.5. Team totals are 3.5 for the Rays, 4.5 for the Astros. Now, I think this line probably has moved on me. So, just take that with a grain of salt. I took what I will almost always do. I'll take the better pitcher, the better offense in a first 5 scenario. Now, I got it all the way down at minus 125 in a first 5 on Houston run line. I have a feeling it's moved since then. So I'm not sure exactly. If you can get it to probably at minus 135, I'd still be cool with it. But again, I like the Astros lineup a lot better than the Rays lineup. I like Verlander better than Morton, although I really like Morton. So again, I'm going to isolate this to the first five. I'm going to take Houston first five run line at minus 125. If you can still get it under minus 135, I would still recommend it. And what you got?
I'm not going to disagree with you on their offenses. The Astros offense is better than the Rays offense. That's an indisputable fact. What is disputable is how much better is Verlander than Morton. I'm not going to argue with you that Verlander is better than Morton. He is. But at starting pitchers at this level, I mean, we're splitting hairs here. We are. And the bullpen numbers are both very comparable. So you're splitting hairs with starting pitchers. You have very comparable bullpens. And it just comes down to what price am I getting? Should the Astros be the favorite in this game? Yes. Between minus 130 and minus 140. Should the Astros be right now in the minus 190 to minus 200 range? No. No, absolutely not. That number's way too high on them. I took the Rays at plus 170. If you can get a better number than that, absolutely do. I just don't see how I can lay this number against a starting pitcher and against a bullpen like the Rays have. I mean, because let's not forget here, the Rays are a team that's competing for a playoff spot too. The Rays aren't chump change, So, and like you said, I'm not fading Verlander. I'm fading the numbers they keep giving me against him.
Sure. Yeah. Right. No, I know that. But what's so? I mean, you admit or you acknowledge is a better word that they have the better pitcher. You acknowledge they have the better offense. Why don't you like the first five?
It's just the number. It's a run line at minus 125 right now. When I would just make the money line minus 140. So the run line is not that much better than what I would make the money line on the first five. I mean, you're going to win this bet more often than I am. I mean, I acknowledge that when you bet underdogs, you're probably going to lose them a little bit more. It's just, are you going to win them enough to make it profitable? I mean, that's what the juice is about here. And at plus 170, I think this is going to be a profitable play over the course of a season. But yeah, I mean, I can't get mad at anybody for wanting to back Justin Verlander and the Astros. I mean, he's one of the four best starting pitchers in the league, and they're the best team in the league.
Yeah, and then this is what I always try to preach is, I always bet good teams. I try to bet good teams every day. So in this case, I got the Astros with their ace on the mound, and I'm only paying 125. So these are the things that I look for. You give me one of the best teams in the world, you give me one of the best pitchers in the world, and I'm not paying much juice. So these are certain angles that I look for, and I talk about this all the time. But just for the chat, just something to think about. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go to the Athletics and Fires, Montgomery and the Royals. Fires is minus 200. Montgomery is plus 185. Over under 10. Team totals 5.5, 3.5. Montgomery's been, crafty lately. But I need more than 185. He's liable to get smacked around. And what do we got? Team totals 5.5, 3.5. And I got nothing on this. What do you think?
The Royals and the A's. No, that number's too high on the A's, but I don't think there's enough value on the comeback for the Royals. I did just kind of look in the comments. I don't acknowledge trolls very often, but I am trying to figure out how people are trying to sell their picks packages in our chat bot with anti-Semitism. That seems kind of strange. If you want to promote your sports betting group, I really don't care. I don't compete with anybody, but not really sure how anti-Semitism is going to draw people to you, buddy. So good luck with that.
Is that Kyle again?
Somebody about the Cappers director or whatever. But I'm going to move on. I'm not going to argue with people. So what's the next game?
Well,
I wanted to ask that question.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not going to come in with that bullshit. But I mean, if he keeps it up, I'm gonna send him my address to the house, and he can we can come talk about it. It's that simple.
All right.
All right.
Hold on. First of all, let's recap the 6 o'clock games because they're about to start in 10 minutes.
Okay, well, let me go first because I only got one. I got the Dodgers first 5, run line minus 140 is all I got. Or no. Sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. Cubs Mets first 5 over 4.
All right. I am on the Pirates team total over 4.5 at minus 105. I'm on the Indians -1 at minus 130. And I'm on the the Twins isn't a 6 o'clock game. But I'm on the Twins anyways. I'm on the Twins at minus 105.
So that's it for the okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, I got more plays.
Okay, I got one more myself. Okay, so let's move on. We got the no, we just did that. We got Red Sox, Rockies. We got Porcello Garcia, Red Sox minus 142, Rockies plus 132. Obviously, a high total in the thin air of Colorado. We got 13.5 there. Over team totals are 7.5, 6.5 on Red Sox, Rockies. I got nothing. I mean, obviously, I try to lean under on a 13.5, but in Colorado, you just never know. So I'm off this. Ant?
Okay, so here's the funny thing. 13.5 is a scary game to bet over, but how many times have they put 13.5 in Colorado and they have gone over? I don't see how this is a pitching duel at all. You got Porcello, who is the worst starting pitcher in the rotation for the Red Sox. He has been very bad this year. He's gotten lit up on numerous occasions, and you're throwing him up against a Colorado Rockies team that likes to feel itself when it's at home. And it's the best pitcher's park or best hitter's park in the league. On the other end, have you seen this fucking guy they got starting for the Rockies?
Yeah,
His numbers in AAA Albuquerque, which is also high elevation.
it is.
His ERA is approaching 7.
Yeah.
And it's not a small sample size. We're talking like 60 innings or whatever. So
I had to look him up, and I had nothing on him. I had to look him up.
Yeah, I had to look him up too this morning. I'm like, who the F is this guy? And I looked at his minor league numbers. It's so bad. He's been so bad in AAA. He was pretty good in AA, but when he got moved to Arizona, or not Arizona, Albuquerque, New Mexico, in that elevation, he just got lit the fuck up. And now they're saying, hey, buddy, now that you've been lit up for like the last 3 months in Albuquerque, how would you like to make your first major league start in Coors Field? High elevation against the Boston Red Sox lineup. Oh boy, doesn't that sound like we're setting you up for success here?
Yeah, that's
Oh my God. So I know it's 13.5, but I do have a half unit on the over here. If it was like 11.5, I'd have 2 fucking units on the over. But 13.5, I have a half unit on the over here. I see this being a 9 to 8 game. I see this being a classic Coors Field slugfest.
sure.
I seriously, I mean, and who knows? It's baseball, variance, all that stuff. Watch it be 3-2 final. I mean, I've had shit.
Yeah, no doubt. We've seen that. I mean, we've seen 18 runs, and then the next day it'll be 3-2. There, it's been crazy. But all right, so you got a half run on the over in that, right?
Yeah, I have a half unit on over 13.5 here.
Right.
I know it's a high total, but I'm not betting it under in this spot.
Right. I got you. All right, let's move along. We got Diamondbacks, we got Giants, we got Leaks to Marja. Plus 120 for the Diamondbacks, minus 130 for the Giants. Over under is 8.5. Team totals are 3.5 for the Diamondbacks, 4.5 for the Giants. I got nothing.
I tried to find a way to get on the Diamondbacks here because I thought, at first look, you're like, okay, there's some value there with that plus number on the D-backs. But in the end, no.
Same thing I determined. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, let's move along. We got Rangers and Minor. We got Athletics and Heaney. Plus 146 for the Rangers, minus 156 for the Angels. We got over under 8. Team totals 3.5 for the Rangers, 4.5 for the Angels. I've been watching Heaney all year. This guy's got good stuff. I mean, he really does. Now, he's been hit a lot, but, just to the eye test, he's it drops down from the left side, hits 94, 95, nice overhand curveball. He's tough to hit. And Minor's been good pretty much all year. He went through maybe two outings where he kind of scuffled a little bit. But, it's funny. I think if, a month ago, this total may have been 10 or a 10.5. It's all the way down to 8. And that's just because really these two teams right now really can't hit. I mean, the Angels have a little bit of talent in their lineup anyway, but the Rangers got nothing right now. I mean, they're depleted. So, I would probably lean maybe over 8, but I got nothing to, I'm not pulling the trigger on this. And
I got 2 plays on this game.
All right.
I am on the first 5 under 4.5. Just about everything you said. Heaney's got some pretty good stuff. His numbers are not bad. His ERA and all his advanced ERA numbers, they're all in the lower 4s, which is a pretty respectable enough numbers. He's got good K numbers, which goes to what you're saying about his stuff. He does get strikeouts, so he can get out of jams. And the Rangers strike out a lot, so there you go. On the other side, Minor's having a fantastic year. I really like how Mike Minor's been pitching. And then you take 2 pretty decent starting pitchers here, and you bottle that up with 2 offenses that have been absolutely dreadful over the last, month and a half of the season. And neither offense was really that spectacular, before they hit this long slump. This is absolutely a spot on first 5 under spot for me. So I am on under 4.5 at -105 is what I got it at this morning. I'm also, this is a little bit more of, I don't know, some people might think this is a little bit more of a stretch, but when you factor in how I like both starting pitchers, you factor in how in the doldrums both offenses are, and then you factor in how the bullpens, neither bullpen's really all that spectacular either. This game's kind of a coin flip. The Angels should probably be give the Angels say, hey, the Angels should probably be -110. That would make the Rangers +110, but not much more than that. So you're going to give me +135 on the Rangers full game which should probably be at least 15 cents or 10 to 15 cents a line value at that low juice number. That's a pretty decent edge here. So I am taking that spot with the Rangers on the money line as well. So I have the first 5 under 4.5 at -105, and I'm taking the value with the Rangers at +135 on the full game.
I don't mind that. That's a good look. You're right. I can't imagine this being more than a -110, -115, maybe -120 look for the Angels. And I got the Angels at -156. Holy shit. Hey, Ant, do me a favor real quick. What is the run line for the Rangers' first 5? Is it still plus money?
I'll look it up real quick for you here.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
The Rangers are the dogs, so you would be plus a half run is what you're asking for?
Right, yeah.
Righty. I'll have it in a half second. -110 plus a half run. Actually, the line's moved on me. Holy crap. It is +145 now on the Rangers full game and +140 on the first 5.
Yeah, so that's good for you. And
the under got steamed. So the under is -120 now, under 4.5 -120. So I beat that line move by 15 cents.
Yeah, that's awesome. I may be leaning towards that as well. Taking that half run in the first 5 with the Rangers. I don't know. I got to think about that. I'll come back to it.
Fortunately, I gave it out on Jimmy's show and still -105 on that under 4.5. So if anybody watched that and then is watching us now, hopefully if you did tail that, you grabbed it at -105 this morning.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently everybody was seeing the same thing I was.
Right.
That
okay.
number.
All right. I'm going to lay some wood here in the next 2 picks. So we're going to go Dodgers, Bueller, Padres, Quantrill. Dodgers are -190, Padres +178, over-unders 8. Dodgers team totals 4.5, Padres team totals 3.5. I'm going to go back to the well. I'm going to take the better pitcher. I'm going to take the better offense. It is a righty on the mound. Dodgers mash righties, and I'm going to do it first 5 run line at -140. So I'm going to take Dodgers first 5 run line
You are
-140.
Lanewood.
Be my pick in this. Yeah, for me to do that, yeah. But again, I like the pitching matchup, Bueller against Quantrill. Quantrill's been good, don't get me wrong, but Dodgers murder right-handers. So I got the better offense. I got the better starter. I'm cool with that. So
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because this one thing that what kept me off the Dodgers yesterday was Lauer was a lefty, and I
right.
wasn't, and I'm not convinced yet that May's a pitcher. I mean, May's obviously got good stuff and he's a good thrower, but I wasn't convinced. I'm not convinced yet that May's a pitcher who can go deep into games, and Lauer's a lefty who can neutralize a lot of those big bats. So
Right.
that's what kept me off the Dodgers Padres game yesterday. What's keeping me off the game today is Quantrill's been, you're right, he's been good. So I'm like,
Yeah.
do I want to lay this number against the Padres today on the road when Quantrill's been this good? But that doesn't mean I'm on the Padres. I mean, I'm still not taking them on the comeback because Bueller, I mean, go watch Bueller pitch 5 innings of 2-hit ball, you know, in the first 5 innings. Bueller's an absolute stud. So, I didn't really want to lay it, and I didn't really think I'm off of it. I'm mumbling now. I'm
No,
off
yeah,
this
yeah,
game.
yeah, no. And I look at it this way. I mean, I feel like the Dodgers against a righty, Quantrill, should get me 2-3 runs in the first 5. And I don't think Bueller's given up 2 or 3 runs in the first 5. So
I
that's
can't disagree with that too much.
yeah. So that's my thought there. Really like that play. And then last game is Yankees and Tanaka. Mariners, Kikuchi. We got Yanks at -169. The comeback in the Mariners is +159. Over under is 9.5. Team total Yanks 5.5. Team total Mariners 3.5. I'm just gonna lay the wood. I'm gonna take the -159. You there?
Yeah, what was that?
No, I just heard a shit ton of static.
So did I.
So I'm just going to lay it at 169. I mean, we got the much better offense. We do have the better pitcher. At 169 for the Yanks, I'm not even going to mess around with first 5s or team totals or run lines. I think at 169, I'm okay with it. This will be the second biggest total or second most juice I think I've laid all year, second or third. But I think there's value here. I would have this at 210. I would say. I think we're like 40 cents off here.
Matt, the line opened at -200.
That's amazing. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so if I would not bet, so there's reasons why. So sometimes one side gets so much steam, like for example, the Mariners got so much steam today, it actually pushes the other side into value. Like at the beginning of the day, you know, I would not have looked at the Mariners, or I would not have looked at the Yankees at -200 on the road in this spot. But there was so much steam on the Mariners, it's pushed the number down so much that you actually do have a spot where you can take the Yankees here at this number. Now, on the flip side, everyone can go, oh, well, the Sharps are all on the Mariners. That's why the numbers got pushed. The Sharps are on the Mariners. And this is one of those things where you have to stop yourself because it's like the Sharps are not on the Mariners right now at +150 or whatever the number is, or +145. The Sharps were on the Mariners when they were +180. Okay, that's why the line got moved down. So there's no value left in taking the Mariners. So I don't blame you now for just saying, okay, I'm going to be part of that buyback and take the Yanks at this number because I think there is some value here on the Yankees at that price. I'm not on that play though. I am on the over. I have a half unit on the over 9.5 at about even money. I think Tanaka is a pretty average starting pitcher, and the Mariners still got some guys in there who can bash some dingers. My favorite non-Cub is on the Mariners. I love Vogelbach. There's just something about that guy. I just like how he just. I like how he just bashes dingers, man. Vogelbach's awesome. So I could see Vogelbach bashing a dinger, get a guy on base in front of him. Vogelbach bashes a dinger. You're going to get this over because guess what the Yankees lineup is not? The Yankees lineup is not the fucking Blue Jays lineup where Kikuchi hit them a complete game last time. This ain't the fucking Blue Jays. This is the Yankees. They're not getting hit by Kikuchi here. I can see this being 6-4, 8-4, whatever. I like the over in this spot. I think the Mariners are going to contribute 3 or 4 runs here, and I think the Yankees are just going to tee off on Kikuchi and that Mariners bullpen. And I could definitely see the Yankees winning also. And at that price, I wouldn't tell you not to bet the Yankees.
Love it. Love it. Okay. All right. So let's just run through real quick. I know we got a shit ton of plays, but let's just run through real quick. I got the Yankees money line. I got the Dodgers first 5 run line at -140. I got the Houston first 5 run line -124, and I got the Cubs Mets first 5 over 4.
All right, let me look at these tickets. So, like I just said, Yankees Mariners half unit on the over 9.5 at even money. I got the Rangers at +133 and the Rangers Angels first 5 under 4.5. But I got that number at -105. It's currently at -120. So you guys got to do with that what you will on that juice change. I have half unit on the Red Sox Rockies over 13.5 at even money. I have the Rays. We're on the opposite side of this one. Hopefully you win yours and I win mine.
Yeah.
I had the Rays at +170 full game. So, 1-0 Astros after the first, and then the Rays take it in the bullpens, get into the game. That'll work for both of us.
Yep.
Twins -107 money line. Indians -1, -130. I have the Pirates team total over 4.5 at -105. And I have a half unit on the over 9 at -120 in the Cardinals and Brewers.
All right, shit ton of plays, boys and girls. I just wish you guys the best of luck. Ant and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what Ant's doing, but we'll try to round him up tomorrow. But we'll probably be on around the same time tomorrow. Stay tight. I think Jay should be coming on probably within the next 5-10 minutes or something. He'll be giving some winners. I'm sure I'll pop on there. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you tomorrow. See ya.